A pale northern dawn had only begun to silver the statue of Victoria outside Buckingham Palace when aides slipped an unsealed envelope onto King Charles's breakfast tray. 2 folds, gold wax left unsigned, initials that looked like W.A. scribbled in soft graphite. An hour later the king boarded the royal train for Bradford, with the mysterious paper tucked inside a forest green briefing folder that usually heralds constitutional business. Courtiers imposed an unusual ban on smartphones in the carriage, and staff who questioned the rule received the same answer: today's visit would test more than stamina. Charles, 76 and midway through weekly oncology rounds, descended onto Bradford Foster Square to cheers that echoed off soot-cleaned Victorian stone. He looked lean but keen. Observers noted how quickly he reached for well-wishers' hands, as if proving every finger still worked. The City of Wool, newly crowned UK City of Culture, provided carnival soundscapes, Bhangra drums weaving around brass bands, string lights blinking beneath morning drizzle. Yet the king's eyes seemed to follow his private folder more than the cameras, as though the letter within outweighed any plaque unveiling. Why should viewers care about one sheet of paper? Because palace sources whisper it contains the final draft of Project Evergreen, a sweeping plan to hand William and Catherine joint control over royal warrants, green innovation funds, and a new sovereign sustainability charter. Royal warrants might sound antique, but data show companies granted the crest grow revenue by nearly 1/4 within a year, and anchor 48,000 UK jobs. Transferring that power while the monarch is still in treatment would be a modern first and a public acknowledgement that the Waleses are ready to steer Britain's soft power machine. Intrigue deepened inside the David Hockney Gallery. Charles spent an unusually long minute gazing at Salts Mill chimney, late afternoon, tapping the frame twice with his index finger. Veteran photographers know the double tap is his silent cue to capture an image destined for quick release. 20 minutes later Kensington Palace published a photograph of Prince William studying City of Culture proposals in Windsor, shot days earlier, but embargoed until the king's signal. The synchrony suggested that father and heir were staging a trans-county call and response, perhaps previewing a larger baton pass. From the gallery, their majesties moved to St. George's Hall, a gilt music box of a venue where the bantom of the opera choir, Bradford City football fans turned Puxanai tenors, unleashed a mashup that ended on Nessun Dorma's climactic high note. Charles gripped the armrest, nodded on beat, then accepted a folded score from the conductor. Lip readers caught Camilla's whispered green light, to which the king replied, nearly. Social platforms erupted. The hashtag #GreenlightCharles trended before the choir's final chord faded. Numbers mounted in real time. In 48 hours the palace Instagram carousel logged 2.4 million likes, trebling any non-coronation post. NHS early screening web pages spiked 42% after the king told cancer survivor Safina Khan that he felt on the better side of my journey, punctuating the phrase with a thumb up that splashed across global news feeds. Bradford hotel searches jumped 12% for summer weekends. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan's Montecito garden party with Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz, photographed from a drone at treetop height, drew half the watch time on entertainment channels, but sparked headlines about star-studded menus and a rumored docuseries on climate-positive football, glittering, yes, but light on measurable impact. Back in Yorkshire, the royal couple ducked into Kala Sangam Arts Centre where teen entrepreneurs backed by the King's Trust pitched startups. 16-year-old Zara displayed a biodegradable sequin that dissolves in seawater. 22-year-old Amir demoed VR physio routines, coded from classical Kathak dance steps. Charles praised them as quiet revolutionaries, and, crucially, turned to his private secretary with an instruction captured on a nearby MIC. Send this to William tonight. Not later, tonight. Another breadcrumb on the trail to that envelope's contents. The day's most intimate moment unfolded far from cameras. Charles joined Safina behind a stage partition, traded treatment tips, and after a brief silence raised his thumb for photographers waiting outside. That universal sign of progress rocketed around the world, reaching 8 million feeds within 6 hours. Cancer charities logged a tidal wave of microdonations. Analysts call it the crown effect. Each authentic royal health update lifts national welfare engagement more than any government PSA could hope to match. Yet not all was public warmth. Little Germany's heritage district delivered raw suspense. The king inspected a derelict mill tagged for potential restoration under a confidential carbon-negative fund code-named Clover. Activation papers for Clover currently require the sovereign's signature. The very fund, sources insist, is folded into Project Evergreen. Witnesses swear Charles rubbed the mill's sandstone lintel, glanced at his security detail, and murmured, "We can't delay much longer." Across the Atlantic, Montecito catered canapés, shaped like English roses, and poured biodynamic rosé from a vineyard rumored to court Sussex endorsement. Paparazzi lenses counted 3 Tesla arrivals, and 1 Land Rover imported from Britain, symbolic perhaps. Guests watched a sizzle reel of Meghan's upcoming Women in Technology special, while Harry discussed inter-Miami youth initiatives with Brooklyn. Fine networking, yes, but critics note that without the institutional ballast of warrants or nationwide programs, the goodwill can dissipate with the season's next trend. Historical precedent hovers like flickering candlelight. Victoria held warrant authority until Edward VII was nearly 50, citing unripened judgment. George V waited until the Great War's eve before allowing the Prince of Wales to sign wartime suppliers into the fold, a move historians credit with bolstering morale. Elizabeth II withheld from Charles until Suez stabilized, after which he launched the Prince's Trust in response. Delay, then, is often strategic, a sovereign's final exam for the heir. Friday morning produced new signals. Rail workers noticed the King's standard claret briefcase, replaced by forest green, deployed only when draft legislation or handover instruments travel. Balmoral, they heard, had been told to ready guest suites for key strategic visitors the first week of August. William's diary suddenly cleared for those same dates. Add Camilla's cryptic remark to choir members, "See you in the Highlands if the heather agrees," and speculation turned combustible. Project Evergreen's scope, according to one leaked memo, fuses 3 streams: warrant modernization regulated by carbon metrics, a Royal Sustainability Prize, dubbed the Verdant Crown, and the Clover Fund seeded at £200 million for rural green innovation. Joint signature from William and Catherine would activate all within 60 days. The envelope in Charles's folder allegedly holds final approval wording, awaiting only the King's flourish once medical advisors confirm he can travel north. If Balmoral delivers the signing ceremony, cameras would show father passing quill to son against pine-fringed hills, a tableau echoing Elizabeth handing Charles the Great mastership of the Bath in 1975. Viewer retention models predict such footage could become the monarchy's most watched non-coronation clip, locking youth attention, just as Republican hashtags lose oxygen. Yet drama loves a counterplot. Meghan is scheduled to keynote a Silicon Valley climate summit the same August week, flanked by Greta Thunberg and a major tech CEO. Should the Sussex Foundation unveil a billion-dollar clean tech partnership, the media will split screens: Balmoral parchments versus silicon drones. Soft power on both coasts, each claiming the green future in Windsor's name. Which narrative resonates longer? Audience metrics reveal monarchy content anchored in measurable civic outcomes holds engagement 70% longer than celebrity cause marketing without audit trails. Bradford's concrete grants and arts programs deliver numbers in local council budgets. Montecito's star power shines bright, but needs constant novelty refills. Nevertheless, Harry could close the gap if Inter-Miami's youth project aligns with FIFA sustainability goals and secures palace-level patronage. That would require thawing fraternal frost. Rumor whispers that the Emerald, Thistle Archive, box being flown to Balmoral includes letters Charles wrote to both sons, before their weddings, unopened copies kept for a future moment of reconciliation. If William agrees to share evergreen platforms with Sussex initiatives, the envelope's meaning broadens from succession grooming to family healing. As night blankets Yorkshire moors, stagehands pack opera risers and volunteers tally new City of Culture sign-ups, already 5,000, double target. Far away, Montecito's lanterns fade, leaving speculation to flicker under California stars. Britain turns the page on a day when a briefcase colour, a whispered almost, and a single green envelope may steer royal power toward the next generation, or hold it in suspense a moment longer. Our next cameras roll at Balmoral's gates. We will track helicopter flight paths, decode tartan dress orders, and monitor whether William arrives with Catherine, or alone, a clue to which signatures matter. We will also reveal, at last, who inscribed those initials WA on the envelope, and why one retired palace archivist calls them the key to the kingdom's carbon vault. Keep watching. The Heather season could crown a prince, heal a family, or reset the very symbol printed on Britain's passports, and every clue is already in motion.